What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. And today, which probably might be the second video, will be the championship early predictions on my account. There is one which is quite favoritism, because I fucking hate these pricks, which I'm just going to point out right now, that I do fucking hate these pricks, so fair enough. But clearly, there's two teams I fucking hate, but one I really do not want to do, but I reckon they could. If you're here for the first time, subscribe and turn the notification bells to all, so you're going to be notified for all my videos in the future. Like and comment your championship early predictions down below. So, let's jump in. The first championship team in 24th is Plymouth. Wayne Rooney, Plymouth manager. He did all right with Derby. He really did quite terribly with Birmingham. Can I see him doing any better with Plymouth? I just don't see it. To be fair, I rate Rooney as a brilliant player, but as a manager, I'm still yet to see some really good, strong results from him, and I just don't see him doing it with Plymouth, you know. I think it's going to be a lot harder, and I just think Plymouth probably will get relegated. I don't think it's going to be just because of Rooney. I think it's the players probably won't find his style of play attractive or anything, and to be fair, I'm not going to blame him. Second, 23rd is Bastard Skates. Yes, the fucking Skates. The team I fucking hate, and I love it because they ain't meeting us next season. That is for you, you skate bastards. So, as we know, when the Skates, aka Portsmouth or Pompey, actually won League One, they were chanting, "We are coming for you, you dirty scummers." Well, Portsmouth, we got the last laugh. We got promoted to the Prem. So go fuck yourselves. You are going to be relegated. You do not have a team prepared for the Championship. You've got a League One through and through team, and I reckon you will go down. I think you'll finish 23rd and get relegated. I think that says it all. So go fuck yourselves. QPR. We know QPR literally survived on the skin of their teeth. They had a very, very tight relegation battle, and they managed to survive, but it was going to be a very difficult, and I just don't think they're going to survive this time. I think it's going to be very, very difficult. They want to survive this time, they're going to have to get in some bloody good players. Otherwise, it's just game over. Next up, 21st is Stoke. I think Stoke's going to start dropping really badly. To be honest, I think they're going to stay up on the skin of their teeth. I think they're going to get some pretty decent players on, but I just think it's not going to be enough. 21st for me. 20th, newly promoted Oxford. I think if Oxford can hold on to their good, decent players, I reckon they've got a chance just staying in the Championship. It's going to be a hard season for them, but I believe they could really work. This is not going to be as competitive as the last season, when you literally had three of the toughest teams, Leeds, Saints and Leicester in the Championship, which was a very tough situation for them. But I think they will do it. I think they will stay in the Championship. I reckon it'll be quite an entertaining team to watch. 19th, Millwall. Millwall had a pretty good start to the season, but they did start to lose quite a lot of games and start dropping down the table. I think they're just going to drop further. I think they won't go 20 or 21st. I think 19th could be a reasonable place for them, but I just don't see them getting higher this season. I think teams are going to probably start picking at their players. And unless they can get some good players in, I just think it's just over for them. I really think it's over for them. And they're going to finish 19th. 18th, Swansea. It's not too big of a drop, but I think Swansea could get really hurt and probably get beat. To be honest, I think Swansea are going to really give everything to try and get high, but I think that could be their downfall. And it's the same with Cardiff and City. Cardiff City in 17th. I think they're going to give everything, and I think that will be their downfall as well. I think it'd be interesting to see how the Wales derby, and if Wrexham get promoted, there could be a triple Wales derby going on the following season. But for now, I think that's going to be really going to be pushing it for these two, and I reckon they're going to drop and probably pick up a lot of injuries of their critical players. 16th, Sheffield United. Sheffield United have gotten relegated, and people are thinking, yeah, they're probably going to try and force their way back to the Prem like they would always do. But I just think they're going to struggle. They got absolutely torn to bits in the Prem. And I think teams in the Championship, if Sheffield United don't do something about their defence, are going to realise, and then they're going to exploit the same weakness. I think they're not going to be so bad they're going to get relegated, but I think they're going to be just bad enough to finish 16th. And above them's actually their Sheffield rivals, Sheffield Wednesday. Sheffield Wednesday done the great escape of the Championship. They got out of it like there was no tomorrow. And I reckon they're going to build off that momentum. I don't think they're going to get high up in the table, but 15th is a pretty solid place for Sheffield Wednesday. I think there could be a Sheffield derby again. I think Sheffield Wednesday will probably do better than Sheffield United, and I reckon they might not concede as many goals as Sheffield United either. Blackburn Rovers in 14th. This is a team that's going to be very difficult. Very, very difficult. To be fair, Blackburn had a really up and down season last season, but you know what? I think if they can get themselves sorted, get some good players in like Southampton did, and they could actually push for playoffs, but I can't see it. Realistically, the best I reckon they could do is 14th, which is a lot better than what they happened last season, but I just don't see it. 13th, Preston. We know Preston had a pretty harsh season near the end. They were getting beat, and it was pretty hurtful for them. I think 13th. I reckon they'll probably have the same, but I think they'll just drop down to 13th by the end of the season. And you know what? Preston fans just take it, and if they can get some momentum by the last game, you could climb, but it depends on how many players you're buying in, and are they going to be good enough to help you get out of the double-digit positions and into single-digit positions. Hull City, 12th. Hull City had a pretty weird up-and-down season, but people predicted them to be a dark horse, and you know what? It really did not play out like that, to be fair. To be honest, 12th seed for Hull City is quite a reasonable place. I think top 12 for them is a very strong finish. You know what? I think it says it all. I reckon they've got a good squad. If add a few more additions, you could get 12th, maybe slightly higher. 11th, Derby County. Derby got promoted, and I reckon they will be, to be fair, the highest promoted team that will go. Derby, I reckon, will chuck everything at the Championship, and I reckon they're going to bring in some really good players with the money that they've got, and I reckon for certain they could end up finishing 11th. It's not going to be easy for Derby, but I've just got a feeling that they could really finish 11th. Sunderland, 10th. This is a massive positive for Sunderland. As we know, Sunderland were doing really well and then they just started dropping like a light. 10th for Sunderland would be a massive improvement for them. And to be fair, I think Sunderland really need to get more consistent to help them here. And I think that was a bit of an issue with Sunderland. They had some consistency, then they changed the manager, and then the consistency went. But I think 10th will be a really strong finish for Sunderland this season. Watford in 9th. I think Watford will try and get into the playoffs. Obviously, there is no more parachute payment for them. It's going to be a lot harder for them. But I reckon if they can use whatever money they've got to get in some good players, I reckon they could try and go for the playoffs. But I think overall, 9th position for them. Middlesbrough, out of the two north-east teams, Middlesbrough will finish 8th, which I think is a really strong finish for them. Do I think they could get playoffs this season? Probably. If they can get some better players in and get more consistent from the start, I reckon a playoff spot could be possible. But from the early prediction, and not knowing if they've bought any players yet, an 8th position will do them. Norwich City, that's actually one place less than they were last season. It's not too big of a downgrade. In fact, 7th for Norwich, just missing out the playoffs. I don't think they're going to have the teams to do it. They do show a lot of fight, though, Norwich. They are very confident when they get the ball. They are very confident, but the defence is just absolutely shocking. They conceded too many goals, and I think if they want to do anything, then realistically they need to sort that defence out. And if they can get their attack consistent as they had done, I reckon 7th, maybe playoffs again, but 7th is where my early predictions landing them. 6th, relegated Luton. I think Luton will push to try and get back to the Premier League. They've got Premier League scent and blood in them now. They will want to do everything they can to get back to the Premier League. With a new stadium coming, I think they will want to get back to the Premier League to play in it for the first time, and I think that would be a nice hemorrhage to their first season in the Prem. Shame they got relegated. I really thought they could get out of it, to be fair, but it's not what it was meant to be. I think with a few better additions, they could probably go automatic, but 6th place for Luton to go through the playoffs again, I think could really, really help them. 5th, Bristol City. Bristol are in mid-table, but the way they were playing against bigger teams like Southampton and Leicester at Ashton Gate, which is a really hard stadium to go to, I reckon Bristol could really benefit from home games this season. If they can get really good players in and play absolute blinders at home and get a good few brilliant wins or draws away, I think 5th could be on the table for Bristol City. I really think they could. Burnley, 4th. I think Burnley will be the best relegated team to do something this season. Do I think Burnley will get automatic promotion? Again, they could do. They can get some pretty decent players in to just bolt the squad. But 4th, I don't think would be too bad for Burnley. Yeah, it'd be a bit of a downgrade by 3 positions because they'd won it. But realistically, if I was Burnley, I would take a playoff spot than staying in the Championship another season. 3rd, Coventry City. I have a bit of a soft spot for Coventry because I gave them a lot of credit when they got a draw against Saints. I felt a bit sorry when Saints... Obviously, I was glad we beat Coventry, but I did feel sorry for the Coventry fans. I reckon if Coventry just get knocked out, forget the FA Cup, forget the Carabao Cup, and just focus on the Championship, keep the consistency up, get some good players in, I think they could actually make the playoff again. And I reckon third could be a really strong finish for them. Second, West Brom. West Brom had a bit of an up and down near the end of the season, but I reckon if they, like Coventry, keep consistency up and keep everything going, I reckon second will be a good. I reckon they could get automatic promotion if they can get good players in. And to be honest, it will be a pretty straightforward season for them. They've been in the Championship for too long, and I would like to see West Brom back in the Premier League again. But it's just not going to be enough to get first. But second's a really good finish. And in first, another fucking team I hate, and we beat in the playoff final. It is Leeds United. I think that Somerville, Nonto, James, probably back Patrick Bamford, Melier, these good players, they're probably going to leave, which will give Leeds a little bit more cash. Will Farrell is rumoured to buy at least 25% of the squad, like, of the club, which gives them even more money. And I reckon if they can buy in better, like, real good players, and with Farke at the helm, I think Leeds United will win the Championship. I think they will probably get beaten a few times, but I think that overall, with Farke at the helm, it will be a very challenging Championship for the other teams with Leeds. I think they will do it. I think Bristol could do them, and I think Luton could do them. Coventry could probably beat them, and we've seen, and the other teams who've been watching the final, they will now have an idea on how to beat Leeds, and that's just to get at them. If you get at their defence, you will cut them open. They are so defensively vulnerable, and if they don't want to be so vulnerable in defence, Farke really needs to buy in some stronger midfielders or defenders just to secure it up a bit. Striking-wise, if they can hold on to Somerville and Nonto, I reckon they're going to go up. I reckon there'll be a major threat and a major confidence boost for Leeds. But, yeah, even though I hate Leeds, I reckon they're just going to absolutely obliterate the Championship next season. Basically, that is what my early Championship predictions look like. Again, if your team's in the Championship, leave your Championship early predictions. This could all change the nearer to August we do get. So if you like this video, leave a like, comment and subscribe, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye bye.